Okay, so this should be on page 35. We are, I hope you guys have already written this down. Transforming linear functions. This is 3.5. We're building up to our linear functions. Our EQ says, how does modifying the input or the output of a linear function rule transform its graph? So we have two vocabulary words here. You guys should have your highlighters. Transformation. F maps to each point of its graph to a new location. Okay, transformation means we are moving our function. Now translation tells you that you're shifting each point of the graph the same distance. So it might be horizontal or vertical. All right, so make sure you guys are highlighting. I'm going to show you this example. You don't have to write this down. Please don't write this down. I'm just going to show you this example. Okay, so if I had x plus 2, f of x equals x plus 2, and f of x equals x plus 6, right? So if I had my table xy, this is 1, 2, 3. All I'm doing now is I'm just going to plug it in. So this is 1 plus 2, which is 3. 2 plus 2, which is 4. 3 plus 2, which is 5. Okay? Now, what if I translate it, right? What if I transformed it to this new equation, x plus 6? Then my new table will be, this should be g. xy, don't write this down. This is 1, 2, 3. I'm going to write down 1 plus 6, 2 plus 6, 3 plus 6, and I should get 7, 8, 9. Okay, what do you notice about the y values? What happened, right? What happened? So let's graph it. Let's graph both in one graph. Again, do not write this down. X, Y. So now I'm going to graph 1, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 2, 4. Right here. And I'm going to make my line. Okay. So this is the first line. The second line, I'm going to go to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we get the 7 here. 2, 8. Right here. Let's draw our line. What happened, right? What's my new, this is my translated function, right? So now what happened really is we shifted everything up, right? That's what translation means. We shifted everything up how many times? Well, let's see. From here to here, how far is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. We shifted everything 4 times. So we translated 4 times. Up 4 times, sorry. Okay. Sometimes it'll be vertical, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. Again, I hope you guys didn't write this down, and I hope you were listening for the instructions. Okay, so now you should have this worksheet with you. Now I'm going to show you another way to do it without having to use a table. Okay, we're going to go back to Unit 2. We have the point slope form. So we are going to convert from point slope form to the transformation form. How do you do that? Well, all we do is isolate y. Isolate y. How do we do that? We just add y1 to both sides. Again, be organized. I don't see y1 having a like term, so I'm going to put it to the side. So now I rewrite it. Y equals m x minus x1 plus y1. Now this is the transformation form, but the transformation form is actually written differently. Instead of y, we now have f of x equals, instead of m, which is our slope, we now call it a. And then x minus, instead of x1, it is now called h, plus y1 is now called k. Okay, so this is the transformation form. Now what do these mean? A is really just your slope. It's the same thing, it's the same names. H is your x value. We also call h is a liar because it is not the correct, it is the opposite. It is the opposite sign. And k is just your y value, and k is the one that's telling the truth. I always say that if you're a liar, you usually go into hiding. So it's hiding behind the parentheses, and k is outside, meaning it's telling the truth. Okay, so k is your y value. We always start, so if you guys have your pink highlighter, always start with hk or your x1, y1. Okay, again, it's just a point slope form written differently. All right, so we also have a new word called parent function. So that's going to be highlighted in blue. Parent function is the simplest form of a function. If you notice here, this is just x. So whenever you guys see f of x equals x, it is just the simplest form. It's the parent function. So now we have to write this function into the transformation form. So we have f of x equals x. Now how do I write it in transformation form? You have to have your, so we know we have that 1 in the front. So our a would be 1, x minus 0 plus 0. So how do I know this? Is because we know that a value is always in front, or the slope is always in front of the x. So then a equals 1. We don't have an h or a k, so h would be 0, k would be 0. Therefore, my new transformation form will be like this. Okay, now it's easier to identify your hk. So then our starting point would be at 0, 0, and my slope would be 1 over 1. So I go up 1 to the right 1. So you're going to graph that in pencil. You're going to start at 0, 0. You go up 1 to the right ones, up 1 to the right ones. Okay? You don't have to do the curves everywhere. Just graph it. Okay? Do it for all of them. I want you guys to write down all the parent functions. So I want you guys to write parent functions. If you guys notice, just like this. Okay, go ahead and pause if necessary. So write your parent functions in pencil. Okay. Alright, so now you have your parent function. So the goal is, so this transformation form is we're actually moving this parent function. We're actually transforming it. So for example, here it would be transformed. The xy value is now different, right? So that's what it really means. That's what we're just doing. So now let's look at this vertical shift. Graph f of x equals x plus 4, rewrite into transformation form. So what do we see here? Let's look back at our equation. F of x, we have f of x, okay? We know that 1 is in front of x, so that's my a, right? So now we have 1, parentheses, x. Do we have an h? Do we have anything in hiding? I don't think so, so it's going to be minus 0. And it looks like we do have something that's telling the truth, which is k. So now my h would be 0, k would be 4. So then we will start at hk at 0, 4. And then my slope would be 1 over 1. I go up 1 to the right 1. So let's go ahead and use a different, you guys should have color pencils. Go ahead and use blue. If you guys can also erase this part. Okay, use blue. You guys are going to start at 0, 4. And I go up 1 to the right ones. Okay, and then go ahead and draw your line. Make sure they're straight. Okay, so as you notice from the parent function, we moved up, right? How can you tell if it's moving up? You look here, plus 4. So now you can say this, the parent function, the translated, so translated 4 up, right? Translated 4 up from the parent function. Now let's graph this one. Can you predict what this one's gonna do? Right? Let's see if you're correct. Here, again, my slope is 1. I don't see an h. Remember, h is in the parentheses. So there's no h. K equals 3. Sorry, negative 3. Okay, remember, h is the liar. H is the one that changes. K does not. So then we're going to start at 0, negative 3. And my slope is 1 over 1. Now use a different colored color pencil. Use green this time. We're going to start at 0, negative 3. I go up 1 to the right ones. Okay, go ahead and graph it. Sorry, go ahead and name this g of x. This one's f of x. F of x. Okay, as you notice here in the blue, we're up 4 times. In the bottom one, we're down 3 times. So let me use green. We're down 3 times, negative 3. So this means this translate, oops, translate for 3 down. Okay. So let's just write the transformation form here. F of x equals, sorry, g of x equals 1x minus 0 minus 3. So this is what it would look like. Again, this is just point slope form. We just moved the y1. Okay. I'm going to do horizontal shift now. So rewrite into transformation form. What do we see here? Now we see parentheses. Again, there's always a 1 here, so we're going to have f of x equals 1, x minus 3. What's missing this time? K is missing. So now we don't have a k, so it's going to be plus 0. So a would be 1, Again, h is a liar, so it's not going to be -3, it's going to be +3. So h is a liar. So k would be 0. Now we are going to start at 3, 0. And my slope would be 1/1. And then use blue again. You're going to go up. Sorry, we're going to find 3, 0, which is right here. I go up 1 to the right once. Okay. Now what do you notice? Where did I move this time? Did I go up or down? Or what happened? Right? I moved to the right. 1, 2, 3. I moved to the right 3 times. So this is going to be translated right 3 times. That's what you guys would write. Can you predict the second one? So this is f of x. Now let's do green for g of x. So let's write into transformation form. Same as the other one, x plus 3 plus 0 because there's no k. Now a equals 1, h. Remember, h is a liar, so instead of +3, it's going to be -3. My k would equal 0. So I would start at -3, 0. My slope is 1/1. So at -3, 0, I go up 1 to the right once, and then graph. Now what do you notice from here? Look at my starting point. From my parent function, I went to the left 3 times. We should call this g of x. Left 3 times. Okay, so this would be translated left 3 times. All right. I'll let you guys do stretch or compression, and then I'll do this last bit for you guys. I might come back to this part on Monday, but this is the most important part right here. Find AHK. Our formula, our transformation form is f of x equals a x minus h plus k. So you see here, a is just 1/2. H is 1. Remember, h is a liar. Instead of -1, it's going to be +1. K equals -2. Here's my starting point, 1, -2. My slope tells me I'm going to go up 1, 2 to the right. So I start where? 1, -2. Let's see, use blue. 1, -2. I go up 1 to the right 2 times. Okay? Look what happened. All right? So now it just didn't shift down or left or right. It also got a little bit flatter. So how would you do this? You would say, and if it's 1/2, it's going to be a stretch by a factor of 1/2. And then it shifted 1. This is going to be right. It's going to be down. 1 to the right. And down 2. Okay. Now I want you guys to do graph g of x. All right. I want you guys to do the rest and try it. If If you have any questions, you guys can always email me or you can ask your substitute.